And Mark, clearly sort of happiness has been at the front of your mind and part of your leadership style since you first joined John Lewis. And you said the idea for WorkL really emerged as you finished your stint in government. Was it a slow burn, though, where you was gradually formulating this idea, or was there more of a defining moment where you went, this is a problem I see that I can help solve, as is often the case when we hear people's entrepreneurial journeys? They suddenly spot a problem and decide to fix it. What was your journey like there?
That's a really good question, Ben. So towards the end of my time in John Lewis, I decided that I would write a book which was called Fairness for All. It set out what I'd learned really in the 34 years, and it set out those 6 steps. I subsequently built on that, and a book called Happy Economics came out last year. In terms of sort of doing the research on that, what became really clear for me, and I'd only really focused internally, there was a huge percentage of people who weren't happy in their jobs. What we see now at WorkL is about half the people who complete the Happy at Work test we would define as being not happy. And then more than 80% are not happy in some aspect of their working life.
Wow.
There was a piece of work done by Deloitte, I think it was in 23, a wellbeing report, and they had over 80% of people who weren't happy in their working life. And so when I wrote the book and started to research more, what I discovered is that whether you take a 50% figure or an 80% figure, literally hundreds of millions, if not billions of people were going to work every day and not enjoying it. And I thought, well, this can't be right, particularly as I spent years in an organisation that tried to do a good job in looking after their people. And so wrote the book. I couldn't publish the book when I was in government. You're not allowed to. So I published it just as I was leaving. And in the book, I said, look, if you're really concerned and you want to improve your happiness, here are the things that you could measure. And so there was a catalyst to say to Kelly, I'd like just to build a really simple test on a website anyone in the world can go to free of charge. They can take this test and they can see how happy they are. And what we'll do is give them advice to say, if you're not happy about reward and recognition, here are some things you can go and do. And if you're not happy about information sharing, here are some things you can go and do. So it started off me doing that. And not long after, Ben, a couple of companies came, because I published the book, came to see me and called me and just said, look, we'd like you to implement this if you can in our business and try and help us. And so that's kind of how it started, really. It started off as philanthropic for individuals and then turned into businesses. And as I said, has now grown globally and with newspapers around the world measuring best places to work, using the methodology that I've talked about. It grew from that, really. But the sad thing that drives me is so many people are unhappy in there. And for a lot of them, it's thinking about being positive about what you're going to do. I was very lucky that when I went to the London Business School, there was a great professor there called Rob Goffey, and he lectured in human resources. And there was some great lessons I learned from him. One was around leadership, and there's a wonderful Harvard Business School paper called Nobody's Perfect, but a Team Can Be. It was a wonderful moment for me because what I learned is that I didn't need to be good at everything. I just need to have people around me who could be good at all the things that I wasn't good at. So that was a real release for me when I understood that and read that. The other thing that Rob said, which again has been so helpful to me, and this was 95, so this is 30 years ago now, Ben. He said, if you've got a problem, there are 2 positive things you can do about it and 1 negative thing. The 2 positive are, you decide that you're going to tackle the problem. You're going to tackle it head on. You're not happy. You're going to deal with it. That's positive. He said the second thing that you do that's positive is you let it go. You just say, it's a problem. I'm not happy, but either I don't have the energy, the brain power, or the will to want to tackle this. He said the 1 negative thing is that you dwell on it. You moan about it. And that drags everybody around you down as well, dragging you down. And in my new book, which comes out in September, which is called Work Happier, and is for employees all over the world to think about their happiness. In that I say, if you're waking up in the morning and you're not happy, you can either leave the job, do something about it. You can decide that for whatever reason that you're going to put up with it for now and you're going to positively just put up with it and let it go. The one thing that you should not do is moan about it when you leave your front door, moan about it when you get home, moan about it to your colleagues, moan about it to your partner, moan about it to your friends, because it's not good for your mental health. It's not good for their mental health, and it just won't do you any good. For me, trying to take a positive approach about how you're going to deal with the things that aren't right in your life is a key lesson, one of my key lessons.